That's exciting. Awesome. Okay, go ahead and hit record, Haley.
We got it.
All right, guys, so it is March 13th, and I'm so glad you guys joined us for our team call because we have a really exciting guest today. Her name is Emily Fauver. If you don't know who she is, you've been living under a rock. She was on the Beachbody Champions page last week and has all bawling our eyes out with her incredible story of redemption and just being stuck and depressed and broken and deciding to change her life. And I can't even say that without getting goosebumps. So I got to meet Emily at the New Leader Conference last month. I literally seeked her out, you guys, like at the reception, like, okay, I got to meet this girl because I think she's so amazing, and found her in her blonde hair and went up and introduced myself to congratulate her on being number 32 in the network. This month, she announced that she is number 7. Number 7, you guys, out of 500,000 freaking coaches. And when she tells your story, you're just going to be like baffled because Emily shares that she's been coaching for 4 years, but she hasn't really been like trying for the last year and a half. And I've been messaging her on Instagram, and she was sharing that her SC points, she reached almost 200 SC points last month, you guys. 200, okay? Just wrap your head around that because I can't. And I said, girl, that's incredible. And she said, Leslie, last year I was hitting SC 15. She said, so much can change so fast. And I just got goosebumps because it's just true. Like, so much can change so fast. So I'm so excited to hear what she has to say to all of us. And thank you so much, Emily, for coming and sharing and being here.
Yeah, no problem. And if you guys have questions, I love chatting with people. So, like, if you want to chime in and ask a question or make a comment, please let me know because I wouldn't mind having a conversation with you. But I just felt, and I actually just wrote it down as you were talking, because I feel like the best way to start this call, if you watch my Beachbody Champions video, you would kind of see why I'm about to say this. But something that really transformed my mindset last year was when my coach said, Emily, life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. So things in life, whether they're like bad or really good, they don't happen to you. Like, you don't have to own those, and like, shine light on your gremlins, you guys. Like, that's a huge thing that my coach always taught me. And I think it's okay to like give yourself a little pity party for a minute, but remember, like, it's happening for you and something good's going to come out of it. And like I said, if you watch my Champions video, you would see why I'm saying that, because last year, I can't say that I didn't think about quitting, because I think it probably went through my mind. I actually specifically remember saying to my coach in the new year, she said, how are you feeling about the new year? Not this year, but last year. I said, well, I haven't quit yet. Ha ha. And she was like, Emily, like, that's not the attitude to have. And I'm like, it's just been, because we were having, for those of you who don't know my story, we were having infertility issues for the last 3 years. So the year before that, we couldn't get pregnant. And then when we finally did get pregnant, it was 4 miscarriages. So we still don't have a baby. And so it was a lot of, okay, this life sucks. What good is going to come out of this? I don't understand, God. Like, I don't get why this is happening to me, because I feel like I'm a good person. I'm like, you know, why do bad things happen to good people, kind of thing. And my coach said that to me. She said, Emily, things don't happen to you, they happen for you. And one day this is going to make so much sense. And I said, you're so right. And I think the first thing that happened for me through that heartache was I put out, you might have seen it, I wrote this huge long post about my experience with loss, basically my first miscarriage, and it went viral on my personal page though, so it didn't go viral on my fitness page. And that was the first time I was like, okay, God, I see what you're doing. And that was the first thing, like the first time I was like, okay, life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. Like, how cool is, like, if I had to go through that to help so many people, then that's fine. And then life kept happening and more miscarriages kept happening. And I'm like, okay, I don't see it. I saw it the first time, but I don't see it anymore, kind of thing. And like I said, I'm sorry if you watched the Champions, it's repetitive, but I just experienced my 4th miscarriage. I was so like depressed and literally the worst, like Like everything I put on my Instagram was true. Like I didn't want to get out of bed. I was in the worst shape of my life. I was going through the motions, drinking my shakes some days because I still had those like pregnancy hormones in me that didn't want them, that want the shakes. And I was just like praying every day, like, God, give me a baby or give me an answer. Like that's what I kept asking. And we had just made the decision to go to fertility treatment. And so I was like, well, I have to take a break. And my doctor was like, I need you to take 6 months off. And that was hard to hear because when you have been through heartbreak or infertility, all you want is baby. And the last thing you want to be told is that you have to take 6 months off. And that's when I got the phone call about the test group for ADD obsession. And I'll just briefly discuss my point on that is when I got that phone call, I felt like it was a gift that I was given and I cried my eyes out. And it wasn't necessarily the test group. Obviously that's an amazing opportunity, but it was, oh my gosh, like this program can completely change my life. Like, hey, I could get so healthy and my body will maybe like let me keep a baby. You know, like those were my mind things. Like this can make me healthy mentally. You know, this can get my mind off of that journey of infertility and all of that. And so I made a decision on that day that I was going to let it change my life. And the way I always describe this program to people and on my social media and my friends and family is that it was a gift, because it really was. It totally changed my life, you guys. I lost 21 pounds. Like I'm the healthiest I've ever been in my entire life. I don't have the food addictions anymore. And you know, as much as I transformed the outside, the inside is totally changed. So I don't want you guys to underestimate what a program can do for you, because you might think, like, you might be like me going through the motions, like, okay, be a product of the product. Let me show you that I'm drinking my shake, or let me do my workout, but eat pizza on the weekends, just not tell my challengers on my Instagram. You know, like that was me. But there's so much power behind being a product of the product and actually showing up and showing people what you're doing. I actually enjoy going through my Instagram before ADD Obsession. I encourage you to as well. You will see a drastic change in the way I say things. My photos, like honestly, I look at my pictures and I'm like, gosh, you're smiling, but you don't look happy at all. Like I can see right through it. And that's what I mean by it totally changed me mentally and physically. And I didn't realize that until my coach said it. She said, Emily, like you have gained so much confidence in your business. She's like, before I was even announced top 10, I did a call and she was like, you're talking like a top 10 coach. And I feel like besides like, you know, like I said on the Beachbody Champions page, acting like this is a gift and talking like it's a gift, act like you already have it. Like act like you're already it. And I know it will happen for you. And another thing that I wrote down before I started this call is stop thinking it will never happen to you. Because I'm telling you, this time last year, I was in my coach's sneak peek group and she shared her income and I'm like, oh my gosh, that would be so nice. Like that'll be the day. Like I had that attitude and like, here she goes. Like, wouldn't that be nice to make that income? And you guys, like I doubled her income from last year, this in January. And I feel like that was the biggest mistake I made, was thinking that it would never happen to me. And honestly, top 10 was never in my sight. Like that was never a goal even 6 months ago. Like ask me, it was elite, not top 10 ever. And now I'm like, what? Like I think I talk to my husband about it every day because it makes no sense to me, because I never dreamed this big. And my husband actually said at the dinner table tonight, I was like, it's so crazy because I just never dreamed this big. And he goes, well, what was the problem? And I'm like, ooh, chills. And that's rude, but like, it's true, because like, you know, if you don't dream big enough, then you're never going to reach it. And I feel like such an important thing to do, like something, because you guys asked for my tips on like how I like hit high success club numbers and all of that and change so much. Miss Goose, come on, I need you to sit. Change so much in the last, 6 months is I make goals. So at the beginning of every single month, I will write down my goals in my planner somewhere I can see them every day, and I double them. And I didn't do that in January. I actually texted my coach and I said, what should my goal be for this month? I'm thinking Success Club 100. And she texted me back, she goes, how about 200? And I'm like, I hate you. Like, why? Like 100 seemed possible, but now you want me to reach 200? Like that's unheard of, you know? And I wrote it down on a sticky note, and I was like, fine. And so that's what I encourage you to do, is like double everything. I cannot stand people that dream small. Like coaches that are like, my goal is SC5. That's great. Make it 10. And then if you fall short, you're going to hit 5, right? And so that's like kind of how I mentor my team, because I didn't do that. Like I didn't dream big. My first 2 years of coaching, I hit SC5 and then would stop for the month. Like if I even hit it on the 3rd, like I was like, see ya, I'm going to go watch TV for the next 27 days. So I just never saw my potential or dreamed big. And I had this realization, I think it was last year or the year before, I can't remember, but I was like, Emily, you are not getting anywhere. Like you've been a coach for, I think it was 2 years at the time, and you have not gotten anywhere. So obviously hitting Success Club 5, when you know you're capable of more, is not getting you anywhere. Not saying Success Club isn't amazing, you guys, but like that was an aha moment for me, was, okay, if you want something different, you have to do something different. And that's what I've been telling my team all year. At the beginning of every month, I write at my team page on a piece, I put it on a piece of paper and take a picture and put it on my team page. If you want something different, you have to do something different. If you're still doing the same things you did last year, don't expect a different outcome. I tell my coaches, if you've always joined and added your people to my sneak peeks, do your own. You know, like you can't do the same thing and expect a different result. And so really just stop getting comfortable with what, like, oh, I think I can hit Success Club 5, so that's my goal. No, if you think you can hit Success Club 5, your goal should be Success Club 15. Or you know what I mean? Because you have to dream big if you want things to happen. Let me see. Is there comments? I'm sure there's lots of comments. Sorry. I said ask me questions, but I didn't listen.
Mostly we're just telling you you're amazing, so you're okay. Thank you. And crying and all that.
I do want to know if you'll braid my hair when we're in Mexico. But
for sure. What wave are you in?
We're on Turtle Wave, I think, right?
Oh, you got it.
She has like long hair, and I was like,
she sent me a picture of it.
Yeah, she goes, braid my hair. I was like, duh.
Of course. So another thing, like these are just honestly things I learned from my coach, and I didn't really take to heart until my 3rd year. Stupid me. I feel like the first 2 years she was just like wanting to strangle me because she saw the potential and I never did. She even said the other day, she was like, I was like, I just never thought this would happen, like top 10. She's like, I did. Like, I've always seen this in you. I always knew that you could do this. And I'm like, okay. But one thing I learned from her was be vulnerable with like what you talk about. People don't relate to perfection. They relate to realness. And I actually got a message today. Someone said, you're the realest person I follow on Instagram. And to me, that was the best compliment I could ever get, because I don't want someone to think that they can't join my team because I'm too perfect or, I never miss a workout or whatever. I want them to know that I'm real, I'm relatable. And that's why I share everything. I'm sure you guys see, I share, like, I think my post about miscarriage going viral showed me that, man, that's something that needs to be talked about more. People don't relate to perfection. They relate to struggles that they're going through too. And so I actually, again, had someone order a challenge pack within like the matter of 10 minutes today and sign up as a coach because she struggles with infertility too. My gut is that she messaged me because she saw that she could relate to me over maybe someone that does it. You know what I mean? So it's like, I hate, honestly, you might not think this, but I hate talking about that stuff on my social media and bringing it up. But I know it needs to be talked about because I know someone out there is as broken and as hurt as I was 6 months ago, and they need help. And so that's why we have to show them what my coach always says is shine light on your gremlins. That's when you're going to really make a difference in the world, because our goal as coaches is, yes, to, help people in their fitness journeys, but like, you're really just trying to change people's lives, like entirely, not just the fitness aspect. So shine light on those gremlins, share the struggles. Obviously we don't want to have a pity party, but I think it's important to let people know who you really are. And I'm telling you, when I am upset about something, I write about it. Anything you ever see on my social media is because I am feeling it that day or that week, not because, I need something to write about. I'm like, this is what I'm struggling with right now and it sucks. And so that's been kind of like an outlet for me. People are like, how do you come up with that stuff? I'm like, I just share my heart. Like, that's literally what I do. And my goal as a coach is to pull on heartstrings. Like, I want people, because I feel like that's how people are going to relate to me. And a way to do that is share that you're human. Sorry, this chat is blowing up. Okay. Oh, I forgot to mention. So at the beginning of every month, these are just a few of my tips. Sorry if I'm all over the place. At the beginning of each month, I will take the sticky notes and I will write like a new Success Club goal, coach recruitment goal, and then like how many spots I want to move up on the elite report. And I stick them on my computer so that I can see them every single day. And I used to, like, I'm a perfectionist. So I used to think in the past, like, oh, I need to make like this fancy dream board. I even asked my husband to like put it on my wall. Like, no, it doesn't have to be like that. You know, it just has to be something you can see every day. And I mean, a good example of this was, I think month and a half ago, I did some professional photos that my husband surprised me with, and we got the proofs back, and I had them on my computer, and one was a headshot, and my husband's like, that would be like a cool like elite headshot. And I was like, you're right, it would be like a really cool like top 10 elite headshot. So I put top 10 on a sticky note and took a picture of it on my computer. And now that I think about it, I should probably share something like that, because I literally took that because I was visualizing it. It hadn't happened yet, but I was like, this is going to be my headshot for elite top 10, like hands down. And so I just think it's cool that I have that on my phone forever now, back on. And it just shows the power of visualizing your goals. And another tip that I have a planner, and each day I come upstairs, I check my back office, and I write the Success Club number. No, ma'am. I check the Success Club that I'm at, and I write it on the day. And the reason is I never want to wake up the next day with the same number, like the same amount of people. And I'm telling you guys, it works. Like, even if it's like 2 points more, like, okay, I reached the goal. Like, that was my goal. And I think it's also really cool because I can also see where I was at last month. So on the 13th last month, I could see that I was at SC 72. And then on the 13th this month, I'm at 106, you know? So it's like, okay, I'm growing and I'm ahead of last month. So like, I know that I am doing something right and I'm on track to maintain top 10 and, you know, get my goal as far as challenges go. And so that's something I've never done before. And it seriously motivates me so much. And like I said, I just never want to set that same number. And if I looked back on February and saw I was like at like 150, I'd probably be like, shit, I need to like step up my game, right? And my coach, actually, her and I work closely together because we're like best friends. And she the other day was like, I have no idea what I was at this time last month. So I have no idea if I'm on track to like reach my goals again. I'm like, such a simple thing, but it makes so much of a difference, at least for me. I'm reading the comments. And let me think what else real quick. Okay, I think that was it. So sticky notes and putting in planner your Success Club, or even if like coaches, you know, like if your goal is to add 2 coaches a week, put that in there. And I think those are like my top goal setting tips. And then also like, I would say like say them to people, you know. I always tell my husband my goal at the beginning of the month and my coach. And like I said, she always tells me to double it. And then like I even at one point, I didn't do it on purpose, but I put on Instagram stories like my computer, and someone saw the SC 200. They're like, holy shit. And this was before maybe it was you, before I even hit SC 200. And she's like, holy crap, like, are you gonna hit that? And I was like, oh crap, now I have to. Like, you saw it, like, you know that, like, and I always put my leaderboards online. And so like, if I don't reach it, then you're gonna know. So let someone know, put it out there on social media, like how many people you want to help. So that way at the end of the month, you can say that you did it.
Can I add one thing, Emily? Can I say one thing?
Yeah, go for it.
So I messaged Emily and was like an hour before. No, maybe it was like half hour before like the night's over, like cut off, right? And I was like, so girl, did you do it? Did you hit 200? And she was like, I'm at 190, whatever, but I got some, you know, enrollments out. And then she's like, what are you at? And I was like, oh, I'm at SC, what was that? 26 or whatever. And And she was like, so are you still pushing? Because you got 30 minutes, girl. And I was like, oh, dang.
It's over till
okay.
it's over. That's the way I look at it. And another, like just a stupid tip, but it works for me. I get a lot of people that are like, how do you stay motivated when you're like sitting at your computer and not like scrolling Facebook or like calling your sister or whatever? So this is my desktop upstairs, but a lot of times when I'm like, Emily, you've been slacking and you need to like put a hustle in your step, I will grab my computer downstairs, my laptop, and if it's at 36%, I won't plug it in. And I know it sounds so weird, but like I won't plug it in because it's like a race against my battery. So I'm like, I want to respond, send out all my invites, everything before my computer dies, and I'm not plugging it in because I'm going to get everything done. And like, I don't pick up my phone. I don't check Facebook. I don't check anything because I don't want my computer to die and not reach my goal for the night. And so it sounds so stupid, but it works. Like, you know, so many of us, we get sidetracked and, you know, but if you get your mind set straight on a goal, like, and use your computer's battery as motivation, then do what works. So I think those are like my top few like hustling points. And I don't know, I feel like just compelled to say like, just stop thinking about things and just do them. And I think that was like the biggest, the biggest thing. I keep saying that. There's so many big things I learned this last year. But like one of the biggest things is I would text my coach and be like, so what do you think? Do you think I should like do a sneak peek? And she's like, just do it. And, you know, like I had a coach ask me the other day, I've been a coach before and I don't know how to like put my coming out post. Just do it. Like stop thinking, stop trying to make things perfect and put more action behind like your words. I thought you had a question. Yeah. And so now I always, write that down. I always like, whenever it even comes to my mind, I'm like, okay, you're doing it. You're not going to think about it anymore. I don't know if you saw my sneak peek post I just put up. I literally decided that like 2 days ago and just did it, you know, usually like last year it would have taken me like a month to plan a sneak peek, but I'm like, no, like if you want something different, you have to do something different. All right. You, Leslie, asked in the text to share how I, hold on, let me make sure. Well, how I keep my team motivated, for one. And I was never really that good at this in the past because I don't think I was really walking the walk. But something my coach, you always hear me reference her because I'm obsessed with her, but something she always said to me is speed of the leader, speed of the pack. And if you want your coaches to be doing something, you need to be doing something, the same thing. And so, I don't know, just a few things that I do is instead of like messaging them on Facebook or posting their team page or whatever, I will text them personally because I feel like even discount coaches, because I feel like no one wants to feel like just like a number. And so like my coach and I, we do a get started right call every Monday, the first Monday of every month. And this was something I never did before. And I actually pop around like 4 to 6 emeralds a week and I blame it on the get started right videos, because in this video, we will talk about how easy Emerald is, how one of their first coaches is their husband or whatever. And we talk about how easy Success Club is. And so I love those get started right calls because they help them to get me and Ashley host them together. And it's just the basics, like what a challenge pack is, you know, who should be your first Success Club point? Your mom, you know, like stuff like that. Like we get started in the business and we feel so overwhelmed that we don't know where to begin, but sometimes like they just need a little bit of a push. And if these are all things that I was never taught when I first signed up. And so that's what I try to teach them, is things that I wasn't taught that probably would have made my life easier. And so when I did that get started right call, I think in February, just to show you how many texts I sent out, I signed 66 coaches. And I looked at that list of people I had to text and I'm like, I don't know who's a discount coach and who's not, but I'm going to text every single one of them to show them that I care, that they're there tonight. And so I just said, no obligation, but if you want to get on the call tonight, I'd love to see you, and sent them the link. And so many responded. I mean, there were some that didn't, but so many were like, yeah, I'm actually a discount coach, but I would love to see it. And then yesterday, what I did was followed up with all of them and sent them the link personally if I knew that they weren't on there. So I think just like getting more personal with the people that we sign up, show them that they're just not a number. and show them that you care. And so my new game plan is to just check in and see how their program's going, you know, just stuff like that. And I mean, I even have people tell me like, I can't believe you're texting me. Like, I just figured you had too many people to worry about. And I'm like, I never want anyone to feel like that, you know? So that's a big tip of mine. I always obviously shout out Success Club. About every 3 days, I will shout out who has Success Club points on the board, who's signed coaches. And now it's almost like a competition for them, because I always shout out like coach of the week. I'll do a coach of the week, or who has recruited the most for the week, or who has hit the highest Success Club points for the week. And I'm telling you, I have like this group of girls that will text me like, I want to beat Lacey this week, you know? And it's just like so funny to me, because I'm like, I don't see why, like, this is more motivating to you than like when I used to send gifts, like, you know? And, but I know I have a competitive spirit. And like when my coach posts like stuff on our team page, I'm always like, oh, I don't want that number to look the same next time she posts that, you know? So that's such a simple tip, but it's what I do. Like I always shout these people out all the time, let them know that they're special. Even if, I shout them out on the team page, I'll personally text them too. At the beginning, I mean, at the end of last month, I personally texted everyone that was at SC4, like 2 or 4. And I said, oh my gosh, you're so close. Let's get you there. What can I do to help? You know, because sometimes they feel like, 1, maybe you don't care. And 2, like they don't see the value or whatever. And so I remind them. And I think I had like 5 or 6 that hit it like in the last few days. So, and I don't know if they would have without that text, but if you want something you never had, you have to do something you've never done. And that's something that I've never done. Okay. Any questions so far?
I think Heather had a question.
She
said, I know you talked about living near Mexico. How did you expand and get additional followers that weren't war market challengers and coaches?
Oh my gosh, that was so long ago. So I literally, when I signed up as a coach, my husband's a pilot in the Air Force. And so we were getting ready to move to Texas, and we were told we were moving in 2 months. And so we moved in with his parents, no job. And what it quickly turned into 8 months. So we lived with his parents for 8 months and no job. And that's when I signed up as a coach. And then, so I like wasn't, and I didn't do anything with the business. Actually, what I love telling everyone, so I'm going to tell you real quick, is the first night I signed up, I was like, well, I'm going to just share my insanity transformation. And I shared it, and I got 33 messages. And I was like, oh my gosh, like my life is going to change. Like, this is crazy. 33 people. And not one person bought from me. Like, I'm not lying. Not one person. I didn't hit Success Club my first month. And I'm like, this is never going to work. This sucks. But my coach is like, just don't give up. They're going to come back. And sure enough, every single one of those people have come back. Every single one. And I'm like, what would have happened if I would have quit? You know, some of them, I'm not kidding. I had a girl just join me that's been following me for 3 years. And honestly, I got kind of tired of talking to her, and she finally signed up. So like, just never give up on people. And so I think I just started like small. Like my coach always says, it doesn't matter how many followers you have, it matters what you do with the followers. And you know, you might think that you have to have like this huge following to be successful, but you really don't. And that's kind of where I was when I lived on the border of Mexico. Like I had no one, like no friends. I'm telling you, we had a Walmart, and we were about 3 hours from civilization. Like you could see Mexico from my backyard. So I had no one, but I like leaned into my friends and family for help first. And that's where I started. And I just kept sharing and showing up no matter what. That's what my coach said. She said, you just have to keep showing up even if they don't. And soon enough, you guys have seen what's happened. I'll kind of transition into that. I actually made my Instagram not even a year and a half ago. And when I tell my coaches my biggest regret, it was saying no to this opportunity 4 times and not making an Instagram sooner. Like I'm so stupid. Well, you'll see that I made it sooner, but I didn't use it. I finally was just like, well, let's try it out, because I didn't believe in it. And I had, when I started 80-Day Obsession, I had, I think 500 or 600 followers. I can't remember. And I think now I have like 12,600. And that sounds great. I know. I remember looking at coaches that have that many followers, and I'm like, that's so cool. But honestly, like since hearing my coach say it's not, doesn't matter how many you have, but what you do with them, I honestly don't care about that number anymore. Like it really doesn't faze me. Yes, it was cool to hit 10K and get the swipe up feature, but like I'm like, I was already doing so much with people that I had. Cool, now I get to impact more people, but I can't like slow down because these people need, still need the same thing. And so the polls option, I think you just have to update your phone, right?
I've tried every damn thing you can imagine and want to cry every time these guys talk about, oh, just use the polls on your Instagram, and I can't fucking use
I
them.
know it didn't show up for me for a while too. Like I had to update my phone a few times.
I did. I like deleted it. I updated it. I switched back to personal. I have it on my personal Instagram, which I don't use. I use
to be writing a letter to Instagram.
I have done that too. I'm gonna just start messaging them like every day and be like, I want the polls. I want the polls.
So I guess like people always ask, how did you grow your Instagram? And I feel like my biggest tip is I make sure that there is a transformation photo on every row. And I know my coach doesn't even agree with this because she doesn't believe in that, but she's forced me. But that's what's worked for me. I want people to be able to go to my page and see something that inspires them right away. I don't want them to have to look through all my dog photos and like selfies to find that, because people, I think there's like probably some, I don't know what to call it, but like I'm stumped on the word. But anyways, there's something out there that says like how long people's attention spans are and how long that they'll look at your page for. And I know it's really short. Someone just told me the other day. But so you have to catch their attention right away. So if you look at my Instagram, you will see that I will post, and it's always mine. And it's when I did 80-day obsession, I took pictures in tons of different outfits because I wanted something for people to have something different to look at. And I mean, I had probably like 10 messages today, I'm not kidding, from people saying, your transformation, or like people, that's almost like an easy follow-up because I'll post a transformation and someone that never messaged me back will be like, okay, I'm ready once I post another transformation, because it like reminds them, oh shoot, that's what I wanted to do last week or last month. And so like today, I think I just posted a transformation like 2 days ago or whatever, or yesterday, I can't remember. And I was like, oh, I don't really want to do that. But I stopped thinking and I just did it because the chances are the transformation that I posted the other day, a ton of people didn't see. So it didn't matter if I posted another one. So transformations all the time. It doesn't have to be a full body, perfectly posed. Actually, I feel like those do the worst. Like the ones where I'm in the same outfit, posed the same that like Beachbody used. I honestly hate sharing those. It's always like my face, or if you're getting a compliment on something that's changing with 80-day obsession, put that out there and share about that. Like someone said today, like if it's your face, or I did my legs, arms, I did my arms, like your butt, like whatever, share it. And yeah, definitely. So you need, and also a tip about that is that's what shows up on the explore page. I'll have you know, I've had probably like, I think, is it 2 photos before I had a ton of followers when I first started 80-day obsession, like show up on the explore page and get like 2,000 likes or something. So the thing is, what I reminded myself is when I was in college, I would sit there looking for fitness inspiration and would search my explore page. So if I did that, guess how many other people are doing that? They're looking for transformations. Everyone needs fitness in their life. It's something that's never going away. So that's what's going to show up, and that's what's going to be most popular. So if you want to show up on the explore page, I feel like that is my best advice, is just share your transformations all the time. And that's how I gain a lot of followers, because those are just random people, and you have to have your profile in public for that, but it's free marketing. Like right there is the explore page. Like there's no really ever, like Facebook doesn't have that. So use that. No hashtags. I can't say that I do anymore. I don't want to lie because I don't remember when I did last, but I know it was a long time ago, because to be honest, I just couldn't keep up with what I was getting, that I was like, I'm not going to hashtag because I couldn't even think about it. But when I did hashtag, it was never, and I'm sure you guys have heard this, but it was never Beachbody or Coach or whatever. It was always Samoyed, which is my dog, or Husky, or Maverick, or Pilot's Wife, or whatever. It was something that was me, that people, because I want those people to come to me. I don't want all the, people that are already into Beachbody coming to me for help. I mean, obviously you guys can, but you know what I mean? Like you want different eyes on your page. And yes, like Leslie said, even if it's not a big transformation, someone sees it. So share it. So yeah, that's probably my biggest tip for, I think, sharing transformations and being vulnerable is like how I get a lot of engagement and a lot of followers. That's it. And I make sure that there's one of my transformations on every row of my Instagram, and none of them look the same. I don't want you to post the same ones over and over. You know, change it up a little bit. Okay.
I have a question about with Instagram, and I think I know a couple other girls had this question too, but Leslie was saying that you do mostly Facebook challenge groups, but what do you do with your followers or challengers who don't have Facebook?
I tell them that they can either, I mean, honestly, it's only happened a few times and they always will just make a Facebook page for it.
Okay.
Like they'll just make like a private one of just them.
Okay.
Yeah. And so now when people say like, I don't have Facebook, what should I do? That's what I always recommend. I'm like, well, I have a lot of challengers that will just make a Facebook real quick for the group.
Yeah. So you don't run like a separate challenge tracker app or anything? And then I think Logan had a question about whether you run ads or if it's just mainly organic growth.
Organic. Before 80-Day Obsession, yes, I was doing ads, but they did nothing for me. And then sometimes I'm tempted when a post does good. I'm like, oh, maybe, but then honestly, I just never have my credit card on me. So can't say that I didn't think about it. But everything, literally, all the followers, everything I've gotten is organic. I've had people message me like, are you using a bot? I don't even know what that is. Are you paying someone? No, like it's all organic. And those seriously are my top tips. And from a huge tip, so if a lot of you guys are just starting 80-Day Obsession or through your journey, I started sharing my transformations from the first day. Like I shared a picture of me in front of the mirror on day one, literally 21 pounds heavier than I am now, no abs, in a sports bra, and I said, you will never see me like this again. And that not only held me accountable, but it inspired all of my followers. And every week after that, I would post a transformation. So even it was like Leslie said, if you don't think it's big, still you need to share it. Like if it was just my back rolls, I would share that. What's going on that week? What's not going on that week? So people aren't surprised if they join you, if they want to see what to expect. And so I would share one every single week back then. And I would have people message me on Sundays and be like, Emily, where's your transformation tonight? Ooh, like they were looking forward to it. So, and like the thing is like, even if people aren't liking your stuff or commenting, they're still watching. And that's probably one of the biggest things I've learned, because I still get messages to this day from people like, I watched your whole 80-Day Obsession journey. And I'm like, who are you? Like, I've never seen you like anything. Back in the day when I had less followers, less engagement, you kind of know. And I'm like, you've never engaged in anything, but they're still watching.
So when you shared that you started sharing from day one, and we were all talking about you when we started 80-Day Session, like, okay guys, like, can you take a lot of before pictures like Emily did, like lots of different outfits, and a lot of people missed out on that, like weren't either with us then or like weren't actively coaching, so they don't have a lot of pictures from the beginning. So like, what's your best tips for them now, like going into phase 3? How do they capitalize on phase 3, don't kind of sort of do it, and show up and be consistent like in phase 3?
Well, I will say from experience, phase 3 is when the magic happened for me. Like literally everything came off. Like nothing happened in phase 2 for me. Everything happened in phase 3. So you have that to your advantage, because like start sharing now, like, okay, it's beginning of phase 3, and 4 weeks, or I don't remember how long it is, you will not see, like, I'm going to look totally different or whatever. If you're recommitting, put that out there. It sucks, but like, say it. My coaches have been doing it lately, but believe me when I say, like, following a program will change your business completely. And I actually asked my husband before I got on the call, I was like, I don't really know what to talk about. And he's just like, that following a program like can completely change your life and your business, like being a product. And like for my husband to even know that, because he's seen what has happened from this, So I think like just sharing every part of it, like in order to capitalize, you have 4 weeks. That's a ton of transformations to share, like that's a long time. So just stop thinking and just do it. Like, if you need to put up a transformation tonight or a recommitment tonight, do it. Share food. Because everyone wants to know that they're not going to be eating just broccoli and rice and chicken. Like, I think a big tip that I learned, I think it was Bonnie Engel, is answer questions on your social media. So if someone messages you and they're like, I just feel like I'm not going to have any time because I'm a nurse. Put that on your social media. Be like, I had someone come to me today and say that they didn't think they were going to have time, and then like talk about why they would. Or I had someone come to me and say, oh, I think I'm just going to eat broccoli and rice, right, on this program. I'm eating fajitas tonight. Like something like that. Like answer questions that people are, or like if you get an objection, share about that and why they're wrong, basically. So yeah, because I know that we're all like working our business right now, and ADD obsession is the hot thing. So talk about that a lot. Yeah, I did a post off of Logan. I did a post where I said, because someone was like, I've been wanting to message you, but I just feel like it's way too expensive. And so I did a post about that. I'm like, it's probably less than you think, because I honestly I do still get price objections, but I still get a lot of people who are like, holy crap, that's it? Like, are you sure that's it? And how many people aren't messaging us because they think it's too much? And that's why we also need to invite. Okay. I know, Leslie, you probably heard this, but at the New Leader Conference, Bonnie, again, she said this. She said, you attract what you talk about. And that has literally been stuck in my head since I came home, because I was like, well, of course I get like High Success Club or, tons of 80-day obsession challenges, because that's all I freaking talk about. Like, no wonder I'm not getting like a ton of business builders and all that. Hey, guess who's talked about the business opportunity 2 times a week and has the best team she's ever had? Like, it literally changed everything when she said that. We were number 7 when we went to New Leader Conference, like we weren't hitting High Success Club then. But when I talked about how to join this opportunity on social media and what it's done for me, I started like attracting those people that wanted more like I did. And so just write that down. You attract what you talk about. So if you're always talking about or always complaining, you're going to attract complainers, or negative people.
I think that's so huge, Emily, because that was my huge takeaway from Bonnie too, was like, holy crap, I don't talk about the coaching opportunity at all. And like, I wish I would have done it from the beginning. Like, like all these brand new coaches on here, or people who've been coaching for 6 months or whatever, like, you should be doing it now. Like, talk about the coaching opportunity now. Like, don't wait until like, oh, I'll wait till I'm a diamond.
Yeah. Or wait till when you have it all and they don't know how you got it all.
I feel like that's a big hesitation is, oh, I'll wait to talk about the coaching opportunity until I'm this big coach. But how are you ever going to get there? How are you going to find your girls and your tribe if you don't talk about it now,
Totally. And like, actually, I didn't think this would do anything, honestly, but I put on my Instagram story the other day, I said, people always ask me like how to pick a coach. And I say, pick someone that you literally want to be best friends with, because I know my coach and I are literally best friends. We count down the days so we can see each other. Like, we text each other every day. I go visit her. She's going to come visit me. Like, that, she's one of my best friends. How crappy. Like, I get so many messages from people like, I don't like my coach. I'm like, well, that sucks. You signed up with her. Like, so if I could help someone not sign up with someone to hate, even if they don't sign up with me, that's fine, because, I've gained so much from having my coach and as a best friend. And so I got so many messages from that, you guys. We're like, well, now that you say it, I see myself being really good friends with you, So, if you have to talk about that more, really talk about your avatar, like who you would want, on your team. Put that out there. Oh, you guys are so cute. Oh, someone asked, what's your take on curiosity marketing? I don't know what that is. Uh-oh, I learn something new every day.
Just what Shalene had talked about it at Summit last year, like not giving away the program you're doing, or not saying Energize, or not saying Shakeology.
Oh, okay.
Because I know like so many people are back and forth with it. Like there's so many mixed opinions about it.
Yeah, I know Bonnie's like that too. I don't know, with 80 Day Obsession, I feel like I kind of had to talk about it because, and I had to mention the name, but I don't know. Like, when I do, how about this? When I put up an invite, like on my social media, I will never really mention the program.
Yeah.
Because I want someone, like, if someone's already been like interested in 80 Day Obsession, but looked it up online and saw the price and was turned off, I want them to still message me because they think it's something else. So, I mean, if you're doing it like in posting a video or talking about Instagram stories, I don't see any problem talking about it and like naming the program. But I would say like on invites and stuff, maybe not mention the name because it is so popular right now. You know, it's everywhere. So you have to make it new to someone. But Energize, like I think it's fun to call it something else. Just because like people love that, like it called like crack or unicorn or whatever, mom juice, I don't know. But I don't know. I think to an extent you should run your business that way, but you also don't want like people getting annoyed because you're not talking. I mean, like saying what it is. Okay.
That's awesome. Do you guys have more questions? Pick Emily's brain. She loves it.
Something, well, you know, I was thinking of questions, and I said this to Leslie before the call. This literally on March 10th of 2017, I was number 350 in the company. I wish I had the number for 2016 because I want to say it was like in the thousands. And so like, just don't ever think that it can't happen to you. You know, I feel like it's just insane to say that because like I said at the beginning of this call, this was never my goal, ever. And that was my first mistake. So if you're not making big goals and big dreams right now, you're wasting so much time and money because it's a business. Sorry, let's see. Can you touch on how you handle price objections? Yeah, and then Amy said something about Instagram. I don't know if you watched Bonnie Ingles' Instagram training, but it's great. Can you touch on how to handle price objections? Yeah, so I mean, I don't know what exactly they're saying to you, but I used to get so like upset back in the day when people would be like, I can't afford it, like, sorry. But now I'm like, okay, well, I use it as like an excuse to have a follow-up. And because there's so many people like in the past that would come back to me the month I really needed them. And so like, I don't get upset about price objections, but I always say, okay, that's totally fine. I understand. I run these groups monthly, so hopefully we can get you in one in the future. Do you care if I check in with you later? And they're always like, yes, please. And that's like almost like an easy excuse to follow up because, you know, we do get nervous about following up, but if they gave you permission to, so there you go. So I always just let them know that I have one every single month. Okay, I'm trying to think. I mean, if there's a specific thing that they're saying to you about price objections, you can let me know. Maybe I've gotten it, but
I was just meaning like price objections in general, because I know we have a lot of new coaches that are like struggling when people give them objections. So I just kind of wanted your input on that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a perfect follow-up for next month when like there's been like so many months that I've been struggling and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I just need someone, and it's someone from like 3 months ago and I'm like, thank God you said no 3 months ago because I really needed you today, you know, or this month. And so don't get discouraged by that because they're going to come back. And as long as you're consistent, they'll come back. But I don't know what you guys say when you explain the price to people, but I literally break it down so much, like the package down to the calendar that it comes with and the paperwork, because I want them to see the value like of everything. Because if you literally say it out loud and you were to say that, like everything that comes in the package, it's a ton of stuff. And my coach always says, it's not always that people can't afford it, is that they don't see the value in it. And so you have to show them the value. And honestly, when people give me the price objection, that shows me that they're not ready, because it's such a great value that, like, I mean, I would do anything, you know, to get it. And so just know that they're not ready, and you don't want someone if they're not ready. And so when people say no to me, I'm like, great, because you're going to come back to me, you're ready, you're going to crush this program. And you're not ready right now, that's totally fine, because it's bad, because then they're going to not get results, and then it almost looks bad on you, or they're going to talk bad about the program. So it's fine if they say no, because they're just not ready.
Hey, Emily, I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay, so with your high success club numbers, the high amount of people you're bringing onto your team or into your challenge groups, like, what is your like process of like putting people in challenge groups, or making sure people are going through new coach training? Or can you kind of like, and I don't know if you're still, like, I know for myself, we're still constantly navigating how to best handle everything, but that's a lot of people. And I'm like, oh man, sometimes I can't handle the number of people I have. So
I'm not gonna lie when I say I get overwhelmed, because I'm not organized at all. And like, I don't have my husband's help because he works full time. Like, I don't have an assistant or anything. So I do it all on my own, but I am a list person. So like, I write down everyone's name that joins me, so that way I can go back and like talk to them. And then I also will, so like, I have a new group every month, which is a little bit much for me, but the light at the end of the tunnel is that the first round's going to end soon, so I won't have that one to worry about. But like, so that's almost like how I keep people organized, is in the groups. And even if they like buy on the first of the month and I don't start my group until the 26th, I say, I'm going to put you in this group. You can start if you want, or you can wait for the group. Like, I don't want them to feel like that they have to wait. So a new group every single month. So like a new set of challengers, and lists for sure. But I guess, like, are you wondering how I
like following up with them and just making sure, because I feel like sometimes I have people that fall through the cracks and I'm not bringing in near the amount of numbers, so I'm just figure out.
I actually, someone asked me this the other day, and I actually follow up with challengers the same time I follow up with people to join the boot camp. And so I will go through every inbox and like start, like, it's like, I think I do it on the first of every month. And I will go through every single person, and I'll read our conversation, like, or like I'll have them labeled. And I'm like, oh, they're a challenger, so I need to check with them and just, hey, how are things going? How are you feeling? And then if the next person's someone that I talked to last month, hey, I didn't want you to think I forgot about you, blah, blah, blah. And so I actually do it at the same time. And I found that works great for me, because I like will devote a whole day to following up with people. And it just gets everyone out of the way at once. So, and like I said, I personally text my coaches, which does take time, but I will put aside like time blocks for those things. And then also, like, I have my challenge group. And so I post 4 times a day in my challenge groups, just to let them know that I'm there and that I care. And it's different things every day, but it's the same thing for every group. And you're going to get people that fall through the cracks, and that's normal. But like, I feel like the people that really want this will like not, like, they're going to come to you, let you know that they're there and all that. And
for sure. Are you doing all 80-day groups? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So everybody coming in is going to go through 80-day obsession.
Yeah. I did have one person yesterday, 21-day fix. So I put her in one of my coaches groups, and she
was my husband and I were talking about this tonight. He's doing the program with me. And he was like, I think this is a perfect introductory program. Like, yeah, the workouts are hard. They're challenging, but like just the like simplicity of the eating plan, and like how, like, there's no guesswork. Like, what better program to get people started with? So awesome. Yeah, I'm curious.
Sure. Something I want to say really quick was, when we were in the test group for 80-day obsession, I want you guys to think like this, because Bonnie said something before we even started, before anything happened. She said, what's really crazy about like 80-day obsession is it reminded her a lot of like Insanity, right? It really seemed like a really hard program. But back in the day when Insanity came out, that's when we attracted people that want to work really hard, right? They want to work really hard in their fitness journey, so they're going to want to work really hard in their coaching journey if they join you. She goes, I feel like that's going to happen with 80-day obsession. And I was like, oh yeah, I mean, that's a really good point, but you guys, it's true. You're going to attract people that want to do hard things. in so many areas of their life. And so really like capitalize on this as much as possible, because these are when you're going to get those people that want to build a business because they want to do more than just the average.
What happens to them after the 80 days?
Well, all of my girls want to do another group. So I'll probably put them in like a graduate group. I probably won't run it necessarily. It's just more like accountability. But I don't know if you guys have noticed the vibe, but like with my group, like everyone's like best friends, like because they're in it for so long. So it's really cool because they're like best friends and they do the obsession and also in like coaching. So I love that atmosphere. I don't know about you guys, but this is the best challenge groups I've ever ran.
Do you have a graduate group right now from when
No.
you were a coach before? What happened to those people?
I don't know. I mean, I didn't have a graduate group, but like they always were. What I would actually do, I would post a link for my new group and old groups. So I'm like, hey, on the 12th, if you want in.
They would move.
Yeah, so they knew that there was always something for them, so they couldn't just use the excuses like, well, she doesn't have groups anymore. Like,
So kind of like the old way we used to run Good Vibes, right, Logan?
Yeah.
Start over.
Someone wants to say hi. Miss Goose.
I had another question. Do you mind going through like what you do on a day-to-day basis, and then also like break down if you do like a power pocket or a power hour or whatever you call it?
So I just like I don't have another job, so I have all day. Miss Goose, come here now. Hold on. She's trying to get it. Hold on. Here. She was trying to get a bone from Maverick, but was too afraid to get it. So I wake up every morning and I do my workout first. And I learned that from my coach, because she said you can't take care of anyone else until you take care of yourself. And I would tend to go to messages first because I had so much to do, but like then I would never get my workout done. So I will always do my workout first and share about that, and then eat whatever, and then go straight to messages. And so, well, no, sorry, not straight to messages. I will go straight into my team. So I'll check like the coaches that they sign, make sure everyone is looking good in the back office if they are looking to rake advance or whatever. And then just pour into my team page for about an hour, just like answering questions, all of that. And then I'll go to messages and talk to people for a few hours. And then I'll go to my challenge group. So it gives people all day to talk and communicate for the most part. And then I'll check into there and answer questions and comment back. So I basically do the same thing every day, but I will turn off, I keep my messages on silent, because otherwise I would do it until 1 o'clock in the morning. And so I always, after a certain time of day, I won't respond to messages unless they're like Leslie or you guys. So I won't check like any challenge groups, like even if people want a link, I won't do it because that's my time with my husband and I need that break.
Do you have any advice for our girls who do work full time on fitting in those power hours? Or
Yeah, I mean, definitely do power hour. I have a coach that's a full-time nurse, and she hits like SC 30 every month. And I mean, it's what, the 13th, she's already hit SC 30 and like signed 11 coaches. And like her tip is power hours. Like that's what she does. Because I feel like that's a way to keep like structure. Otherwise you just like sit down and you're like, I don't know what to do, and I have so much other stuff to do, I don't know where to start. And so I think you need structure and a computer that's about to die, and you'll be successful. But that's my coach's advice that's super busy. And I know she wakes up early, even like earlier to do it, so she doesn't have to, use that time which she needs to be with her husband at night. If you want something you never done, I mean, you never had to do something you've never done. So if you need to wake up an hour earlier, if you really want this,
I feel like we're just going to say that all the time now.
It's so true.
Awesome. Okay, guys. Well, it's been about an hour. I want to be respectful of Emily's time and just thank her so much for being here. Does anybody have one last question you're dying to ask and you're just a little nervous?
Ask me anything.
Can we please get a picture together at Summit this year, please? Okay, thank you. That's like.
Okay, that was a quick one. That doesn't count. Maybe maybe a question from a newer coach. It's most of us older ones have been asking questions. Be brave.
I have a question.
Yay, Megan!
Okay.
Woohoo!
So I'm a super a newer coach. I'm only an Emerald. So my question for you is, I have trouble deciding Facebook, Instagram. How do you split your time equally and gain followers in both?
So I post everything on Instagram, on Facebook as well. And I will actually devote, I'm glad you asked because that's a really good question. I devote a certain amount of time. So like I said, I do 3 hours of messages, sometimes longer, but an hour and a half is spent on Instagram, an hour and a half is spent on Facebook. Even if one is busier than the other, I will always have a set time aside. And I even had a girl message me yesterday from my Facebook on my Instagram. She's like, hey, I'm waiting for the link for our group. I was like, okay, I'll be over there in about an hour. Because I want to make sure that I'm putting as much time into one platform as I am the other. And so, like I said, if you're not getting the engagement and everything of the other one, still put it in there because obviously it needs it. But like I said, even if it's 20 minutes on each, make sure it's even.
That's a great question, Megan. I had no idea that you spend that much time on Facebook. That's great. I love it. Great question. Awesome. You guys are so cute.
Yeah, definitely do Instagram stories. Gary Vee is one of my favorite people ever, motivational business person. And something that stuck with me is, if you're not using every social media platform, you're wasting time and money, because literally our businesses are built on the internet and you have to use everything. I think that's when I started using Instagram, after he said that.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Emily. You're amazing. And just know that we're all over here cheering for you and your success.
Thank you.
If you're not on our team, we love you. And we want you to just keep climbing up that top 10 ladder, girl.
Thank you. I'm excited for y'all. And if you're in Mexico, come say hi and keep crushing 80-day obsession.
Thank you. Awesome. Thanks, everybody, for joining tonight.
Have a good night, you guys.
All right.
Thank you, Emily.
Bye.
Bye.